Hey there, fight fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Ranch Boxing Podcast, UFC edition, Adog's Picks. And we have a huge card this week, UFC 328. But before we get to that big card, let's say hello to our resident expert, Adog, coming straight from Cali once again, feeling better this week. How you doing, man?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. Excited about this, like you mentioned, big card, and ready to get into it, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, man, all the festivities happening for this card, UFC 328, this Saturday, May 9th, from the Prudential Center, Newark, New Jersey, in the United States, which doesn't always happen for Sean Strickland, but this time we'll see if we can pull off the impossible once again. So, like I said, in the main event for the middleweight championship, the champion Hamzat Chimaev taking on former champion Sean Strickland, number 3, as a heavy favorite. Co-main event, flyweight title bout, newly crowned champion Joshua Van taking on number 3, Tatsuro Taira. On the undercard, heavyweight bout, number 2, Alexander Volkov versus number 4, big up-and-comer Waldo Cortez Acosta. Welterweight bout, number 6, Sean Brady taking on number 9, Joaquin Buckley. And to start out the main card, it's going to be a lightweight bout, King Green taking on Jeremy Stevens. And on the prelims, we have Atiba Gauthier, big favorite against Ozzie Davis. That's where we're going to start the show at. And it looks like Atiba Gauthier wins the award for the best or the highest favorite on the card once again, as a minus 1100 favorite, plus 700 for Ozzie Diaz. Man, does Ozzie Diaz have any chance in this fight whatsoever, man? What do you think?
That's crazy, man. Because I usually get my odds off Caesar, and Caesar's has them at 1,600. So yeah, he's pretty used to those high favorite numbers. Had a good outing on his last fight. He actually first time that he's gone to the judges, and he had a unanimous decision win. Before that, 8 straight knockouts. Like we said before, I thought it was a good thing that Atiba went the full distance, got him some experience. I think we're starting to lean on just seeing him blow everyone up right away. And I thought the commentary team was actually giving him a hard time for not putting his last opponent out, which was Puyaev. On the other side, we do have Ozzie Diaz, who's an alumni from the Contender. He actually was on the Contender series, but ran into Joe Pyfer that first time. And we know what Joe Pyfer. So he got KO'd by Joe Pyfer, didn't get a contract, and was sent back to LFA. He was a former champion there as well. Went back to LFA, won a couple times, and man, ran into another buzzsaw of Zhang Ming Yang, that Asian I think he is Japanese prospect. Uh, Lost in that fight by KO. They kept him on, and he ended up winning his last fight. So he's 1-1 in the UFC right now. Took the long road there, but again, man, no easy fights given to him. Atiba Gauthier as 1,600 favorite. Ozzie Diaz 35 already. Gauthier at 24, which 35 is not too old, but this guy's just a monster, and Baby Ngannou. And so for this one, the 1,600, a little high, but it's fitting. I'm taking Atiba Gauthier to get back in that knockout win column, and taking a first or second round knockout of Ozzie Diaz in this to start the main card.
Well, he's actually the feature bout, I think, in the prelims.
Yeah, to get the main card started after. That's what I meant. Like, get the knockout and then start that main card going.
Yeah, they gave him some crap last time about not finishing, stuff like that. But no, these are the fights that you're supposed to be learning from, man. And Atiba Gauthier, we don't know what his weaknesses are just yet. So and he may know or whatever. He needs time to work things out, work on things. He's still young. Probably nowhere near his prime, unless he's like he hit his prime super early, or he's an early bloomer. But at middleweights, he should be hitting his prime somewhere around normal, 31, 30, maybe something like that. And he's just 24 years old, so he needs to be learning
Yeah.
from these. It's usually the UFC is usually they don't give you any easy fights, man. But if they do, then you go ahead and take him, man. And if it's a learning process for him now, that he needs to be doing that. Yeah, and Ozzy Diaz, he has some experience and he has some age on his side. So I'm not saying he's over the hill or anything like that, but at 35, I'm sure he's probably been doing this for a minute, and Tiva Gauthier needs to take advantage of that. I agree. I think it's going to be a night for Gauthier, but we'll just see how he reacts to everything and see if he's worth every bit of that 1100 or 1600 favorite. Much is expected from those those favorites like that. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with him. If it does it in the knockout, it'll be a good way to start the main and the prelims. So I'm excited. I'm always excited to see him fight, and it does seem like he's keeping pretty active. Good for him.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the main card here, man. Lightweight bout, King Green, the man from Fontana, man, Fontucky in the house, against Jeremy Stevens. Long time veteran there, and it looks like King Green, from what I have, is a minus 325 favorite, plus 260 for Jeremy Stevens. Man, how do you see this going?
Man, yeah, I see Bobby Green, why he's a favorite, but that line is a little high for me, man. I understand they're both 39. They're both, we've seen these guys grow up in the UFC. Um, Bobby Green may be getting a lot of credit. He's 5-3 in his last 8. Came up with some good wins against, Grant Dawson, Daniel Zellhuber, Lance Gibson Jr. He's coming off some wins that he shouldn't have won. He's been in there with some good guys like Ruffy and Pimblett. And Jeremy Stevens, I'm surprised to still see him in there. Jeremy Stevens 1-8 in his last 9 in the UFC. This dates back since like 2018. This guy uh, beat Miles Price a couple years back, but hadn't seen a win before that. And to surprising, against game tough Josh Emmett in 2018, he actually beat Josh Emmett. He's been dirty boxing. I believe he was in dirty boxing, that bare knuckle. He fought Mark Perry.
Right.
And Jeremy Stevens been doing a lot of different things, but still surprising at over plus 300 for Jeremy Stevens. I still got Bobby Green in this fight, but I see it a lot closer. Bobby needs to be careful holding those hands down. We know, he's exciting. He holds those hands down though. And we've seen Jeremy Stevens knock people's block off before. So he just got to be careful. I think he's the better fighter. I think he's still faster. And, he's obviously been fighting more actively than Jeremy Stevens. So I see Bobby Green cruising to a nice unanimous decision loss. I don't see anyone getting stopped unless Bobby plays around and somehow gets caught like we've seen before. But this is Bobby Green's fight to lose. So I got Bobby winning this one.
Yeah. I had to look real quick to see if King Green was gonna retire, because it seemed like they served up Jeremy Stevens for him in a retirement fight type, like kind of like a Cub Swanson thing going on. But yeah, man, I'm thinking the same thing, except a little bit. I got a little bit more faith in King Green, dude. Jeremy Stevens, he's been there a long time, good veteran, but I just think his time has gone, and it was like a couple chapters ago. And he's even hit hard times in other promotions. And King Green, he is up and down, but usually it's like some really good people that do get him. Sometimes he does get caught with his hands down, because he always has them down. But in this case, man, I mean, he does need to keep him up, because Jeremy Stevens probably could summon enough power to do something to King Green. I don't know if he's gonna do enough to knock him out. I'm not sure about that. King Green is I think he's far quicker. He's way slicker than Jeremy
Yeah.
Stevens, and I don't. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, like a huge mistake, like he can make a mistake, but he's got to make a couple mistakes or make a huge mistake to lose this one. And I don't think it's going to go the distance, man. I think King Green might play with it a little bit, stuff like that, but I think he's going to be able to move this way, move that way, kind of confuse Jeremy Stevens. I think Jeremy Stevens is going to get a little frustrated and just kind of like come in on him, and he's going to catch him coming in. I see King Green with a knockout somewhere. I want to say somewhere in the first round, but I'm thinking more like second. Jeremy Stevens might take a round to get frustrated with it. I see that in a knockout happening for King Green. And if he does, he pulls off another knockout, the always entertaining King Green.
Yeah, I like it, man. Yeah, I see it that way, and it's just hard. I've seen Bobby get knocked out, and I've seen but Bobby is the better fighter on paper for me.
Yeah, Bobby is the better fighter in this. I mean, or King Green, whatever.
Yeah,
All right, man.
yeah,
Let's move up to some another fight that here that's getting a little bit. It's like little by little they get harder and harder to choose.
yeah,
Welterweight bout number 6, Sean Brady taking on number 9, Joaquin Buckley. Man, looks like Sean Brady is a slight favorite, minus 170 against plus 140 against Joaquin Buckley. Man, what do you see in this one? It looks like a grappler versus striker in this one.
yeah. Grapple versus. I love this fight, man. The matchmakers did well on this one. Both coming off losses. Both
Yeah,
had championship aspirations, but got derailed. Joaquin Buckley's been on almost a year hiatus. Took some time off. He was active before
yeah.
that a little bit in 2024, but lost to Usman. Pretty decisively. Um, we know what happened to Sean Brady against Michael Morales, who looks to be getting a
Right.
shot here in the near future. Both at the same age. Buckley's at 32, Brady at 33. Um, 8-2 in the UFC for Sean Brady. Buckley 6-1 in his last 7. And I got this as minus 160 at Sean Brady, and I'm sticking with that, man. I just see Sean Brady watching those that Usman tape, taking something from that and using his own, man. We saw how Joaquin Buckley couldn't. He only got taken down 4 times. It was 4 takedowns. I think it was 4 out of 10, but the control time was over uh 12 minutes. So half the fight, was it a 5-round fight? I don't remember, but he was controlled over 12 minutes in that fight by an older Usman. So I can only see Sean Brady holding down Joaquin Buckley more and possibly getting a submission. And just a tough fight for Joaquin Buckley to come back after a year. So I'm taking Sean Brady to get back in the win column in the submission.
Oh, submission win.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Um, yeah, man. Joaquin Buckley was on a tear, and then he ran into a real grappler last time, and an aging grappler at that. And
Yeah.
then now he's taking on Sean Brady. Sean Brady coming off a big loss. At least it ended quick for him, and it wasn't any long lasting damage for him in that Michael Morales. As far as like he didn't have to grind for that loss. Joaquin Buckley, that fight with Usman was a 5-round fight. And I see it. I mean, you got to be crazy. Sean Brady's got to be crazy if he doesn't look at that Usman fight and just try to mimic that perfectly. I'm sure
Exactly.
Joaquin Buckley in a nearly a year off. I hope he's been working on his takedown defense and his
Yeah.
grappling a little bit. Better just don't get taken down and try to make Sean Brady empty that gas tank to get that takedown. Because I don't think Sean Brady's going to be playing games this time. I don't think he's going to be playing striking games with strikers this time, like he did
Yeah.
against Morales.
Yeah.
He needs to get back in that win column, and he even wants to sniff a little bit of a title shot anywhere in the next few years. So I think Sean Brady's going to come with some fire. I think the him being the favorite is right, but you can't count out Joaquin Buckley at any time. That's why it seems pretty close. But I just don't see it, man. You know, grappling is not Buckley's forte. Now he is strong enough to keep a grappler, um, to keep the submission away for about 5 rounds, 3 rounds in this one. But I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to do enough to win this. He's lucky he's strong enough, because if he was just a little bit, if he was less strong, it would be a submission for me. But I'm going to take Sean Brady because it's a 3-round fight. He was able to keep Usman off for 5 rounds, even though it was a dominant performance by Usman. I can see
Yeah.
Sean Brady, 2-1 maybe, but it's going to be maybe 3-0. Sean Brady not going to mess around. He's not going to care about making it exciting. He's just, win today, look good later type thing for Sean
Yeah.
Brady. He needs to get back into the top 5. So I agree with you. I see Sean Brady. I just don't see it in a submission. I see it going the distance, 3 rounds.
Got it. Got it.
All right, man. Let's move forward to our heavyweight bout. This is an interesting one. This is probably the one I'm like, dang, I don't know. I was arguing with AI about it, man. I was like, well, what about this? And he's giving me reasons, and I'm like, what about this? Because AI was picking Volkov, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, well, what do you think? I was getting into it with the AI, not arguments, but we were
Yeah.
giving our points of view. Number 2, Alexander Volkov versus number 4, newcomer ish Waldo Cortez Acosta. He's trying to get back. He's trying to He's trying to up his stock, man. He just keeps climbing that ladder. Now he's fighting the number 2 guy, man. How far can this guy climb, man? What do you think?
Yeah, man. When I saw this, this is a great fight, heavyweight fight. It's kind of exciting, it's kind of good to get excited by a heavyweight fight. It seems
Yeah.
like Josh Hogan's the only one getting us excited in that division. So I like this fight. I like this fight. I'm surprised that Alexander Volkov is the favorite. He didn't. He came off that win out over Johnson Almeida. His last one. It was kind of
Yeah.
lackluster, not on his part, but you know about Johnson Almeida. So and it was a split decision. So, um, he is 37. He's 5-1 in his last six, and his real only kryptonite. He's lost to Blaze, but he's lost two to Cyril Gahn, which no shame in that. On the other side of the fence, it's going to be Waldo Cortez Acosta, who's 17-2, but 8-1 in his last nine. His lone loss coming to Sergey Pavlovich, which is, he was at one time was considered a heavyweight contender. I think he fought Tom
Right.
Aspinall for the interim, and we just haven't seen too much of him. Waldo Acosta is 34, so he's a younger fighter, not in the heavyweight division. You can fight till you're 45 and so, and still make a name. But in this one, man, I was back and forth on this one. And so I just took it to the last fight, to both last fights, and I just thought Waldo Acosta looked better against Derek Lewis. And that one kind of took me
Right.
because Derek Lewis didn't look too great as well. But in this one,
Right.
I think Waldo Acosta, sees a light. He's a couple of ways, he has a major fight ahead of him if he can beat this one. And Josh Hogan can beat Derek Lewis on that white hot card. I think that'd be a great
Man, that'd be
fight.
something.
Yeah, Waldo Costa against Josh Hogan that'd be a fan fight. So on this one, I'm going in a 3-round fight. I think it's gonna go all the way to the scorecards, and I see Acosta winning 2-1, maybe 3-0. And I'm taking the slight underdog here in Waldo Cortez Acosta to get the win.
Yeah, do you have Acosta as the underdog in this? Slight underdog, but do you still have him as an underdog, or is it a pick 'em?
Yeah, I got him on Caesar at plus 120 and Volkov at minus
Okay.
150. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you have it even closer than me. Yeah, yeah, but I still couldn't believe that. I was kind of like, wow, I would think
Yeah.
Waldo Acosta would be maybe I wouldn't say he's a big favorite, but I would say like maybe a slight or even a pick 'em. It was kind of weird to see Volkov as a favorite. Yeah, man, I went back and forth with it, like I said, with AI about this, and I was like, well, what about this? What about this? What about the Derek Lewis
Yeah.
fight that Volkov was pretty much winning, and and then he got caught. Um, I don't I don't know if that'll happen. I think Volkov learns his lesson and stuff like that. But I mean, he's been here for a while. He's got a lot of experience. But I mean, Waldo Cortez Acosta looks like he is for reals as he's a real athlete. He's a real contender, at least in the
Yes.
he went from suspect to a prospect last time, so he's for reals, man. I picked against him before, but he's here. He's for reals, and he'll go as far as he needs to go, I think. And it's wide open right now. He could make a lot of money and garner a lot of interest with the Hoke fight. Seeing if Hoke gets through that White House card.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, man. A lot on the table for him here, because nothing would be better than to watch two young heavyweights or two new heavyweights go at it in a who gets to cross over bridge or get crossover fight.
Exactly.
So yeah, I see. I see. It might be a little close. Alexander Volkov might win the first round, and then we'll see if Waldo Cortez Acosta can win the next two. That experience, is gonna
Yeah.
help Volkov. I can see him pulling off like a slight, maybe 2-1 win, but I'm gonna stick with Waldo Cortez Acosta as an underdog, slight underdog, and to be able to topple Alexander Volkov. And it's not with Russia with love this time, man. I'm picking against the Russian, man. I'm going against them.
You
I
got
feel
him, man. You
terrible.
got him. Oh,
And I like
man.
Volkov, man, because he's always been a stand-up guy. So I'm going to go with Waldo Cortez Acosta to keep climbing that ladder and see if we can make that something like a Hokit fight, or we'll see what happens with the UFC heavyweight champion or the UFC heavyweight title. Who knows where that's going? We can speculate speculate about that later.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's move forward to our co-main event here. Flyweight title bout. The champion Joshua Van taking on number 3 Tatsuro Taira, and it looks like Tatsuro Taira on a minus 175. This is what I have, a minus 175 favorite, plus 145 for the champion. Looks like Taira was able to get a little bit of cred after that win over Brandon
Moreno.
did I ever forget his name?
Brandon
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 Moreno.
Moreno.
Why do I call him?
Yes.
Why do I call him Morales?
I don't know.
And then we'll see how Joshua Van responds after his title win. I guess that's what you want to call it, man. What do you see in this?
Oh man, I'm so glad this. I was pretty bummed when it fell off last month's card, but I'm glad it boosted this card, man. This is a little shot of adrenaline right before that big fight in
Yeah.
the main event. Wow, too young, too young. This may be the youngest championship combined age. You're looking at only 24 against 26. Man, these kids are young, young, young. Joshua Van,
Wow.
obviously the second youngest champ ever, next to the greatest of all time, John Jones. So people giving Josh Van a lot of heat for that win. I don't understand why, man. He just did what he had to do. Uh,
Right.
he blocked that kick, and that was on Pantoja. What is the guy supposed to do? The surprising thing, they've had one common opponent, and Brandon Royval. We saw that fight
Okay.
live with Josh Van and Brandon Royval. That one was a close fight. But Tatsuro Taira's only lone loss in his career and the UFC is to Brandon Royval in the split decision. Besides that, he's 8-1 in the UFC. The big surprise to me that I didn't realize in this fight, there's only a 2-inch height advantage, but Tatsuro has a 5-inch reach advantage,
Ooh.
and I think that's gonna be big, being that Tatsuro is people are expecting him to grapple and really be the stronger fighter in this. So with that, I was going back and forth because I had Josh Van at first. Um, I just don't think Josh Van's going to be able to get to Tatsuro, and may overstrike and overthrow, and that's when Tatsuro is going to come in with those good takedowns. And I haven't seen Josh Van too much of his grappling and how he's on the floor. So with this one, man, I was back and forth, but I see that the odds maker got it right, and I'm taking Anu Tatsuro win his first championship in the UFC against Game Joshua. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I don't think anyone's gonna get stopped, but I just see those takedowns weighing heavily. I see Josh Van can take it down, 5 to 8 times in this fight, getting controlled for a good amount of time.
Right. Yeah, man, this is an interesting one. I was going back and forth a little bit. I was like, man, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? And really, yeah, that Tyra win against Brandon Moreno really did. If it gave him
Yeah,
credit with other people, it certainly did give him credit. The way he kind of just dismantled Brandon Moreno, almost at his own game, and then mixing his own stuff with it. It was good, man. It was like he knew the recipe, and then he added his own little spice to it. It was perfect, man. That was the way he won that fight really gave me a lot of confidence in his game.
yeah,
Joshua Van. Now, here's a couple other things going on. The way he beat Brandon Royval, which I thought was really close. I think I may
yeah,
have edited for Royval that day, but either way, he won that fight, and then he goes against Pantoja, does what he needs to do, and he blocks his way to a title, to a championship belt. That's just the way it goes. I agree with you there. The thing about Joshua Van that I am not liking right now is that Joshua Van had a fight with Pantoja that he trained for and barely got any reps in that fight because of how it
yeah,
ended. And then
yeah,
he set to fight Tatsuro Taira, and then he has an interruption in his training camp. And then 4 weeks later, then he stops, does whatever he has to do with his injury, because I cannot find
what it was.
what his injury was.
Neither,
It's
neither.
very hush. So, and then now he's back. Now, is he back because he's ready, or is he back because he's just good enough to go? I don't know. I still don't like interruptions in training camps. It
Yeah,
can't be a good thing. So that's one reason. That's one reason. I just don't know. Like, he's had 2 fights, but really, this is his second fight, but he didn't really get to fight in the Pantoja one. So how many reps did he really get against a quality guy? If he was
Yeah.
able to beat Pantoja, that's a lot of good reps against a really good guy, but he really didn't get it. So that experience almost is kind of void. So I'm gonna go with Tyra as well. I think
Wow.
he's gonna be able to get Van in this. I'm not sure how he's gonna be able to win. I will say this. I think I put him down as like it was gonna be a decision. But if he is able to stop Van, that
That'd
is
be
a
nice.
statement, and that'll make that Pantoja return even. I mean, I'm not sure if it would be better because it would be nice to see him fight Van again, but it'll make it. This is a guy that beat Van, and if he was able to stop him, it just makes it just much more enticing because it'll
Yeah.
it'll make Tyra clear. And I saw this, and I'm not sure if it's true, but I think it might be true. This is the first time for males, a male championship fight with two Asian fighters going for the championship. I think that's true. I was told it was the only one, but then I'm like, what about Jean Wei Lin? I forget her name.
Oh,
They
what
fought
was your
for a
name? Yeah,
championship.
yeah, they fought. They did.
Shannon Ho Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Xiaonan. Yeah,
that
Xiaonan. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Yo Shaonan. Yeah, and I'm going with Tyra, man. I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna be the new one, and Josh Van will have time to come back. We'll see what happens.
I like it. I like it.
Cool, man. So yeah, so I think we
We're,
are
yeah.
are
Every
we
pick. The
the
same.
yeah
Same.
every pick
Yeah.
so far the same. All right, man.
Yeah.
So the here we go, the main event, middleweight title bout champion Hamzat Chimaev taking on the former champion number 3 Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland, last time he won the title against, back then, was an unstoppable, or we can't see him lose, Adesanya. Can he do the same against another guy who looks? I'm not saying he looks like Adesanya. I'm saying he's got the same aura of this guy can be beat. He's unstoppable. That's kind of how Adesanya was seen last time, man. This is a big one, man. What do you think, man?
Man, I love this. I've been waiting for this fight for a long time. I'm so glad Sean got this fight. He was able to get it. Um, oh man, this is such a good fight. I don't watch the embeddeds no more, but this is such a big fight for me that I've been watching all the embeddeds, man. I've been watching every interview. I actually turned off today's presser. There were too many f bombs, man. It just so they'd ask either Chimaev or Sean a question, and it ended up being like, fuck you, bitch, and fuck. It didn't even answer the question,
Yeah.
so I I ended up turning it off, man, because it was just too much. If someone took a tally, I bet you that was the most f bombs in a presser ever, because that was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is the right fight to make. Imanov, on the sidelines, he gets the next one. Drakus, I haven't heard too much of Drakus, but this was the fight to make. If this was on pay-per-view, man, this would, I wouldn't say a Connor style fight, but a Connor pay-per-view numbers. But I think this draws a lot of interest for people. Um, Sean Strickland, outspoken, going crazy, huge +4. I got him at plus 460, 460 underdog. I guess like you were describing, unstoppable, unbeatable looking Hazmat Chimaev. You know, the biggest thing for me in this fight is, like we always say, Hazmat's inactivity, man. Inactivity.
Right.
He's had what, one fight a year, it looks like, man. 2022 Kevin Holland, 2023 Usman, 2024 Robert Whitaker, 2025 DDP. So this guy's fighting once a year, man, and he's still younger at 30. He's 32, but I just see when you get up to this, someone like Sean, who you're not gonna break. You're not gonna break him. You're either gonna knock him out or you're gonna have a tough fight with him. Um, Sean had some inactivity, but he looks to be back into his fighting regimen, and he's fighting, coming off that devastating and improbable win of Fluffy Hernandez. And he just looked
Right.
great. He looked the best he has. And the thing with that, I think that's going to translate well. I hadn't seen Sean fight he was throwing a lot of knees in that fight, man, more than I've ever seen. And I think that's what he should stick to. I like that, man. I like that he was interrupting Fluffy's flow with those knees. I really think that's what won the fight for him, man. And Fluffy wasn't able to build any consistent output. So I think Sean needs to do that, man, and keep those knees up, keep those knees going, and really, keep him away with that jab. Obviously, we know Chimaev is the better wrestler. People, say Sean is a great wrestler. We've never really had the chance to see that, but who knows how much he wrestles in camp. But when you haven't been taken down in the octagon, that could be a detriment, man. So hopefully Sean doesn't get taken down too many times because we've seen Hazmat held down, and we see what he did to someone who beat Sean decisively in that second time with DDP. But with this one,
Yeah.
man, I, I'm busting a Jake Taylor. I'm calling my shot, and I'm taking Sean Strickland in a fourth or fifth round TKO and stopping Hazmat Chimaev by pure grit
Oh,
and outworking them. And I just see Hazmat not having the experience in the 5-round fights and just gassing out in this one, man. And I see Sean Strickland bringing home the title belt to the United States of America.
man, if Sean Strickland could pull this off again, even if it's a short-lived title reign like last time, it would be incredible, man. Like two guys that just no one thought they were riding high, and Chimaev
Yeah,
isn't just like seen as very good. He's seen like as the boogeyman. Like nobody wants to mess with this guy. And it seemed inevitable he was going to be the champion, but unfortunately for fans, his activity is I knew there was going to be a problem, and he just can't be doing that. He has to be fighting. I mean, at least two. I wish he would fight more like three
yeah,
a year when there's so many people waiting for shots. Sean was lucky to get this shot because of his impressive win against Fluffy Hernandez. He needed that, and this could be it for Strickland if he can't make it
yeah.
happen, and it couldn't be a taller order here. So what is he going to have to do? What is Everyone's thinking that. What is Sean Strickland going to have to do? Yeah, I mean, I hope he came up with how him and his team came up with a great game plan, man. Because this Hamza Chimaev is very strong. If he's able to get his hands around a leg or something like that, it's really hard to break that grip.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know, man. I think Sean Strickland might have a little bit of an advantage in a clinch. But if it gets to if he's able to wrap him up, if Hamzat's able to wrap up Sean at all, man, I don't. That's going to be tough for Sean Strickland just because of the tales, the folklore of Hamzat's strength. But I don't see Chimaev. I don't think he's going to even risk at all. I think he's going to straight away, almost like a Kevin Holland type thing, just straight
yeah,
away jump at his legs. And Strickland better be ready on the takedown defense and really just try to keep him off while putting together some sort of offense, catching him with a knee that's dangerous. Catch with a knee because it leaves you on one leg. It's a tough one, man. I mean, I guess Hamzat has earned his minus 575 or around there favorite, but it doesn't last forever, man. Some at some point you gotta. I know he works really hard in
yeah,
training, but nothing's like fighting, and Sean Strickland has that experience. Man, this I the way I see it going, I think Hamzat's going to be able to get a hold of Sean here and there, and I think he's going to stink it out for 5 rounds. Hopefully, Sean Strickland is able to get a little bit under Hamzat's skin, and Hamzat wants to bang even a little bit with him. I just don't think I think Hamzat has a lot of weight on him from Chechnya, and he says here he's from the UAE, whatever. He's from Chechnya, isn't he? He's got a lot of
yeah.
fans over there, and I think he's got a lot of weight on him. I don't think he's gonna mess around. I think he's gonna jump at Sean's legs, and let's see if Sean can not let that happen. But I think it is. I think it's gonna happen. I think Hamza just gonna be able to wrestle him 5 rounds, and probably it'll be very much like the Dracus Duplessis fight. Um, and I see Hamza Chimaev hanging onto the title in sort of a lackluster fight. I wouldn't say the DDP was lackluster, only because where they were. But if he does that again, it's kind of that gets old real quick.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's hard to take Sean, when he got beat by DDP that second time decisively, and then we saw what Hazmat
Right.
did to DDP. So I get it, man. I get it. I just I was just really impressed how Sean looked last fight, and I think I just see him fighting that same type of fight with Chimaev.
Yeah, it was good the way his takedown defense was on point last time, man. He was able to get
Yeah.
that. It does seem like they're preparing for Hamzat Chimaev. He was very adamant about being the opponent for Hamzat, saying he's the only one that can beat him, saying that's the fight to make. He was very adamant about it. So I don't know if they've ever trained together or anything like that. I thought they had. So he has his confidence somehow. I don't think it's just false. I think he
Yeah.
really does see something, or he feels like he really can catch Hamza. I do really think Hamza might be like a little bit of a bully. I think if he gets tagged in some way, I think he might get a little like, oh shit, this it might throw him off. I'm kind of wondering if all the shit talking is throwing him off too, getting under his skin. Not only that, I don't. This isn't the United States. This is in New Jersey. And
Oh
I have a
man.
feeling as soon as Hamza goes for the leg or does something, I think the boos are going to be flying. Will that get under his skin? Will that make him fight? Will that lure him into Sean's trap? I don't know. Hamza seems like a pretty disciplined guy. So I would say no, but you never know, man. Boos plus all that shit talk, plus, I don't know who's in his ear saying like,
Yeah.
if you should be able to stand up with this guy. Give us something to watch. We'll see how that all comes to a head here, man. No, I mean nobody is above pride, um,
Yeah.
and it happens to the best of people, man. It happens to the best fighters. Your pride gets a hold of you, and you're like, I'm gonna beat this guy at his own game. Now, if Hamzat is able to beat him at his own game, that is something special. We will see. There's a lot of things in this, a lot of factors here that can happen, man. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna go with Chimaev to do what he does, and it's not gonna do him any favors. And hopefully Sean can try to make the best out of it. And maybe he has the medicine for this guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a good fight, man. Shit.
Yeah. One fight I wanted to mention real quick on the early prelims. Sigur Susakayev going to fight Jordan Santos. He's a heavy favorite. Susakayev is a heavy favorite, minus 700, plus 500 for Jordan Santos. I just wanted to mention that fight real quick because Susakayev he's a bit of a prospect here. Very new. He's been very busy. He's from Russia, so you see this the same way, right? You think Susakayev is going to be able to get the W in this one?
Yeah, yeah, he's looked good in his last two fights, coming off that KO over someone I've never heard of, but he had that third
Yeah.
round KO. He's had two stoppages in the UFC. So, like you said, prospect 11-0. I've never heard of this other guy, Jordan Santos. So, is it his first fight? Oh no, he's got one fight against someone named Barlow. He's actually fought twice. He
Yeah.
fought someone on this card, Ozzy Diaz. He lost to Ozzy Diaz,
Oh,
who's fighting Baby Ngannou. So this guy's fought before, but yeah, Susakayev looks like the real deal, and he's always entertaining. The two times I've seen him, he's
yeah.
entertaining.
So Susakayev,
Yeah,
another middleweight to keep track of. He's a bit away, but like I said, he's on the early prelims. But we like to point out people that we think are they're going somewhere, just like Atiba Gauthier. He's already up there in the feature bout. But that's someone to keep your eye on. All right, man. Real quick, man. I wanted to talk about last week fight night. JDM Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates, and real quick, Badil Dariush versus Quillen Salkild. Salkild was he went prospect, he went like nobody prospect to a contender very quickly, man. I know you picked
Jesus.
Salkild to win this against Benil Dariush, and it looks like Salkild is now ranked in their beating number 12 Benil Dariush by a first round KO. Did you see the fight?
No, I just watched the highlights, man. This card was pretty early. I was keeping I was at work watching the compy box, but I didn't watch it live. So I watched some highlights, and I did watch the process fight in its entirety. But that's for as far as the card, I didn't watch it all.
Yeah, man. Selkin, he got hit. He got kicked, and like I'm not sure if he blocked it or partially blocked it, but he got dropped. Not bad, but
Oh,
he did
really?
get dropped. And for a second there, it looked like Dariush was like, gonna bring it on him, but Salkid was able to like turn it back right back around and able to stop Dariush really quick. I mean, I don't think Dariush has much of a chin anymore, and he
Yeah,
was in some problems real quick. But Quillen Salkid looks good, man. You told him, you said it like I think 2 fights ago, this guy's someone to watch, and sure enough, man, he's already beating Benil Dariush. So that was a good call. This guy looks like for real, man. Another first round KO. Good for him. Got a
another one.
performance of the night. What did you think? What do you think, man? Welterweight bout here. Carlos Prates, Jack Della Maddalena, the former champion. The welterweight picture is very, there was a lot of people in it. It's not clear at all. There's all kinds of like speculation, and at the same time, we have Makachev just not fighting. So it's really hard to see what's going on. This gave us a little bit of clarity. How did you see the fight, man? What's your reaction to it?
Man, it was good. It made me. I always was suspect on JDM. You know, he did beat. He probably had the. I don't. Bilal's. Bilal's been looking good those last two fights. Real game. Um, but Bilal was always the most suspect champion. He beat him for that belt.
Right.
I had JDM in this fight, but man, Jesus, Carlos Prates looked really good. He looks like when he hits you, man, it hurts. I jumped up to number 3 in the rankings, only under the champ and Ian Machado Guerrero, who looks to be lined up, or uh, he looks to be lined up next for the title. He actually jumped Michael Morales. So who
Wow.
knows what happens in this division? Maybe it is that time. I know you were saying, I believe we spoke of a couple months ago, you didn't want to see Carlos Prates versus Michael Morales this early, but
Right.
they're right. They're neck and neck, man. They are neck and neck. They're 3-4. Maybe it's about that time, because after that it's JDM, Bilal, Kamaro, Sean Brady, and Joaquin Buckley. That can stir some stuff up right now as they're 8 and 9, and then Gabriel Bonfim. So it looks like, unless Michael Morales or Carlos Prates waits for the next after Ian Machado and Islam, it looks like they're headed towards each other like two trains, because I don't see any other fight to make to get into that contention. But Carlos Prates made me forget about his loss to Ian Machado Gary. He's been on a tear, killing everyone. Leon Edwards, really beat up JDM bad. And so, all good to him, man. I really like Carlos Prates. I really like him, man. He's really good. He looks amazing.
Who did Ian Machado Gary lose to, man?
Did he lose to? Oh, your boy, man, the one that doesn't fight no more.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. What happened to him?
Shavkat. It was just a back
Shavkat.
and forth. Shavkat. It was just a back and forth. But it was close, but he was just stronger. He looked, it was a unanimous decision. It went all 3 rounds. He was getting, a little pieced up. He had some time. He had some moments in the fight, but Shavkat was just a little bit better.
But he's gone. He's not even on the rankings. I know he got he said that he wasn't going to fight this year. 2027, he might come back, but he's completely off the rankings.
He's off the rankings, man.
Completely.
Yeah.
I see the rankings, and he's completely gone. So
Yeah.
1 minute, we have all these people in the welterweight division. Shavkat looks like he is the heir apparent to at least a title shot, and now he's just completely gone. Not gonna fight, and who knows if or when he's ever coming back. I heard rumors of retirement, and now
Yeah.
JDM is gonna take a back seat. Prates looking unbelievable in this fight. I thought he was going to win, but I didn't have anything close. It was like a decision, but barely. and I thought he was gonna get some life lessons in this. Like, yeah, it'll prime him a little bit better. No, man, he went in there, and I'm gonna say it was easy. He just made it look easy, man. He handled Jack Della Maddalena like nothing, man. Made him look just like an amateur in there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It was an unbelievable performance, and all these crazy elbows and strikes he was just landing at ease. He made it look really good, man. Really entertaining. It is very difficult for that to be ignored. I still think Ian Machado Gary with a win over Prates, even though it doesn't look like the same Prates,
It
I
doesn't
think
look
he
like the
deserves
same
a shot.
project. Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
No.
I think he deserves a shot, and that really does put people in a bind here. Are you really not going to give Prates and Morales that the number one contender, whatever you want to call it? You could put that on a card, man. You could put Makachev versus Ian Machado Gary, Prates versus Morales to clarify what's going to happen. I mean, you could have it all in one, man, and that would be
Yeah.
an insane card. The
Yeah.
welterweight picture just getting cleared up very quickly now that things have happened. Now, people who might want Prates to skip the line, I just don't see him skipping the line over even Machado Gary. Even though he didn't look super exciting in his last fight, he did beat Prates, man. He beat him, and I mean, it was close, but it wasn't. I thought Machado Gary won like not easy, but it was like clear. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens with Morales. Morales needs to get back in there. If he's not going to fight Prates, he needs to fight someone like quickly.
Yeah.
He had a very quick win against Brady,
Yeah.
so
He
you don't
needs
want
he
people
needs to
dying
not.
on the
Yeah,
vine.
you don't want to be shelved too long, man.
Yeah. So it was a good fight. It was a very good performance by Carlos Prates. And like I say, this whole welterweight picture, which was a mess, is starting to clear up just a little bit in just a few months. Wanted to say a few words here about Aljamain Sterling, Yusuf Zalal. Man, I thought Zalal was gonna beat him. I was completely wrong. Aljamain Sterling looked really good, man. I want to just give him a shout because I always give Aljamain Sterling a really hard time, especially after what happened with Piotr Jan and all that stuff. Blah blah blah. I always give. I'm not the biggest Sterling fan, but he put it together, man. He looked really good against Zalal. I did pick Zalal before this, and then I picked Zalal thinking like, man, he looked really good against Emmett. No, Sterling just handled him easy. Very good win for Aljamain Sterling. We'll see. What do you think, man? Do you think he's ever going to get a chance? Who did you think was going to win that? I don't
Yeah,
think I asked you.
I had Zalal for sure, man. On
Oh,
just on how good he looked in his fight before
yeah,
against, I believe he killed Josh Emmett real quick with a quick sub. And Aljamain, he's old. He's getting old, man. He's getting up there. He's got a lot of miles now. And like you said, there's always that bad taste when of that Peter Yan fight. So, but we forgot, man. This guy defended his belt a couple times, I believe. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I had Youssef, and so I don't know about a title fight yet. Maybe one more, but who knows, man? He's I wouldn't say legend, but he's a great fighter that's been in the UFC for a very long time, who's fought the best of the best, and he's on a he lost to Evilov. It's hard to pass him up unless he gets
yeah.
a rematch with that. It's really hard to pass Evilov up, even though how boring he is. Uh, to not get a title, so you can't really give Sterling a shot before that evil off.
No,
So
I don't think so yet. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't
so
think so
who
yet.
knows
But we'll go ahead.
when he's on the marquee again, when he's on the card again, it'll be interesting. He has a case. If he wins one more in good fashion, he didn't knock this guy out, but he dominated a much younger, hungry fighter who's been
Yeah,
looking good. So he has a case in point, but he needs to fight. He needs to fight someone uh to prove his point more. But I just don't see him not close yet to a title.
okay. Yeah, I didn't think that backpack was gonna work on Zalal, and it totally worked on him, man. And he still looks prime. He still looks good. He may have one more run left in him at or the first run at featherweight for him. I mean, I counted out Aljamain, man. I shouldn't have done that. So good for him. I just wanted to say that because I like I'll say I was wrong, man. I'll say I
Yeah,
was wrong. I'll say I counted this dude out, and like I can say all day that I've never really been the biggest Aljamain, but he did a good job in this one, and it was entertaining. It wasn't just like he didn't just win. It was actually entertaining. I was watching it thinking like Zalal will get him. Like, oh shit, man, Zalal's getting handled, and damn, it's exciting. It's kind of exciting at the same time. So good for him. All right, man. So that's all I got for today. Nothing's really changed with the Dana White House card. Everything seems to be going to plan. Have you seen pictures of Pajeda? Looks pretty
I
big next to Gon.
I was just telling my girl, he has his hair grown out. He looks huge. He looks big, man. He's he looked bigger than Cyril Gahn to me, man. So we'll see,
He,
man. He looks
yeah, he.
big.
So I was kind of wondering. I was like, oh, geez. I thought that same thing too. I'm like, I thought, oh, it's the first time he'll look a little bit like smaller, skinnier. Nope, nope. He looked thicker. He
No.
looked taller. He just looked bigger, and I was like, geez, man. So we'll see. I mean, I know Gon is good, but like, ooh, and I'm wondering what's gonna happen with this power. Does it, will it translate? Will it get even stronger at heavyweight? I don't know, man. It's gonna be a good one, man. The Dana White House card, man. Um, don't apply for it, man. It looks like no one's getting into that card, so everyone's gonna
Yeah.
have to watch that one on TV unless you're plugged in, man, over there in DC over Dana White. Anything else, man? Other than that, man, I think we covered everything. I'm excited about this card, man. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna a lot of things, a lot of history could be made.
A lot of history, man. I'm glad it's a two title card. Um, and it looks like a banger, man. A lot of fights that we didn't mention. Jim Miller.
Yeah.
I love Jim Miller. He's been in the fight game for a long time. A lot of history there. But a lot of fights on the prelims and the early prelims. And if you're a fight fan, you should be watching this from the beginning. I know I took the day off, so for these big fights, I
Oh
take
yeah.
the day off. So I can't wait, man.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. I want to see from beginning to end, man. Yeah, everything. It is like I said. It is a banger card. There's a lot of things on here.
Yeah,
Great, man. All right. So if you want to watch, you know, possible history happening, and you'll see two Asian men fight for the men's title flyweight. Tune into this one. It should be a good one. So anything else, man? Anything else you got?
no, man. Will you be watching the Ronda Rousey? I think it's next week. You gonna watch it?
It's the week after the ninth, right? Like the
Yeah,
whatever that is, 16th or
16th.
something
I
like
think
that.
it's the 16th. Yeah, it's on Netflix,
I'm
man.
absolutely gonna watch it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I got Netflix. I'm totally gonna watch it. I want to see how Ngannou comes back, see how he's doing, stuff like that. He's gonna check in with some MMA, and then I'll see what's up with Ronda. We'll see. I mean, she loses. Ooh, it looks bad, but I think she's gonna win, and maybe she'll make some sort of not so much a comeback, but at least she'll be back a little bit. And there's the Mike Perry fight that looks decent. It's a good one, man. I'm not gonna
yeah. There's a
good for
couple.
MVP.
I can't. There's a couple of named fighters on the prelims, man. They've been in the UFC. It looks good, man. Or maybe Bellator, but there's a couple named MMA fighters on there that we've seen
Yeah,
before.
you
So
never know, man.
it's a good one.
And there could be some fighters in there that you don't, not really, you really don't see too much, but they might bring it. It's always good to
Yeah.
watch stuff like that. So we'll see. All right, Matt. So that's gonna wrap it up for us. That's our show. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you guys at the fights.